NIMASA, I said to myself, okay, I've had government experience, and it was a fantastic privilege, and I'll always be thankful to my boss, Dr. Jamo, who fought tooth and nail. He fought his way to ensure that I took up that job, up to the point of getting my wife involved. You know, when your wife comes and says to you, why don't you rethink it? It means that even in your house, you can lose elections. I'm telling you. That's what it means. And so I took on that job, and I learned a lot because I actually participated. All the things we did, we came up with a document called From Crude to Blue. I was sharing that with the chairman, with the chairman of Lagos FIAPSI. Sorry, Lagos NIESV earlier on. And so these are the buckets I want to show you at the Blue Economy Academy, which was what I started after I left NIMASA. And look, I don't want this knowledge to go to waste. Let's begin to share knowledge, inspire people, educate people about the blue economy. So there are 10 buckets, and this is where I'll leave it and take questions. Bucket number 1, as you can see, is what we call blue what? Blue commerce, trade, shipping, movements of goods and services. Can you imagine blue commerce? Moving palm oil to Lagos by sea. It will be cheaper. You'll be able to do more volumes. You'll evade, the usual wahalas on the road I will not mention. And then you'll be able to do so much more. Blue commerce. So transportation itself is one. The second one is what we call blue bounty. Blue bounty simply means aquatic life. In terms of fish, shrimps, and the ton of what you can harvest for food. It's what we call blue power. Sustainable energy. Nigeria still has a lot to do in that regards. Renewables, wind farms, and all the rest that we can get. As we're struggling with our power as a nation, it has to be one of the options that we incorporate into our energy mix as a nation. Then the one that I think concerns you the most is blue cities, coastal infrastructure, coastal estates. I would prefer to live near the ocean and enjoy the breeze, because the breeze is better if you're nearer the ocean. Have you noticed? It's better. Then you have a host of others. You have blue capital. How do we raise money? And FIAPSI, this is going to be very important for you to engage and encourage your financiers to begin to think in terms of what we call blue bonds. Blue bonds. We have a series of programs at the Blue Economy Academy where we go into each of these buckets. It's a course you take for about a month to understand the total dimensions of the blue economy before you begin to get involved. Blue capital, because our finance just institutions need to learn these things. We now have green bonds. There are various ways to raise money, raise capital for your projects. But if your players or if your financiers don't have the understanding and what the rules are, they are not going to be able to provide that support meaningfully. Then there's blue governance and justice, and I'm glad we have a government presence here. There is the kind of awareness that is required to function in that space. So lawyers have a place here. If you're a lawyer, I would advise you to begin, if you are serious about the economics of your profession. This is one of the most untapped aspects of the legal profession. I could count the number of maritime lawyers I met during my 3 years at NIMASA. And yet, that was a sector that required so many lawyers in terms of specialization. Not to talk about blue governance and justice. Then Blue Nexus is about biotechnology and all of the various intersections of technological applications to drive the blue economy. Then we have blue climate. It's very important for those of us who care about the environment. Thankfully, every state now has a Ministry of Environment, and there are actions being taken because we must be stewards, worthy stewards of the environment. As we take resources from it, we must preserve it so that there will be a place to go back to continue and make it sustainable. And then we have blue talents. I mentioned the Philippines. 35% of seafarers in the world today, global supply of seafarers, are Filipinos. Pardon? You consent to it. Thank you very much. They are Filipinos. And you know the interesting thing? In maritime, you get paid in dollars. Because maritime is international. So Blue Talent is there, capacity building there, and then finally Blue Ventures, the kinds of businesses we need to set up. Young entrepreneurs need to begin to think, startups in the blue sector, in the blue economy. So these are the things I want us to understand. It is not in my place to educate you. I am the least qualified to educate you when it comes to the specs of your business in real estate. I've only come here to shed light, to help project what the trend is as far as this emerging sector is concerned. It's only emergent for us in Nigeria. It is a sector that has taken hold globally. And to challenge us to begin to think about making Nigeria blue. More blue is what we need. More blue, so that we will not suffer the blues. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That was another big ocean of knowledge that we have just shared with us today. So we'll take Q&A. Because we don't have so much time, we'll take just 3 people. I know we have more questions, so I'm going to take in the order in which we raise our hands. So I have number 1. Please note that, sir. Do we have any other question in the house? Oh, we are all okay. Are you raising your hand? So number 2, sir.
Okay.
I think that's okay. We are all together. Your name, sir, your family, and your question.
My name is David. Good afternoon, everyone.
You say David?
I represent PIOCCI, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which is a global body of 36 million Indians working abroad. And I work the African region. I represent 54 countries from Lagos. Let me tell you, I don't want to have a question. As Professor Ubong said, I'll use the word professor. Most of these things, like, what you brought, I just want to add some supplements with your permission. Because I know you're a speaker of the day, and you're trying really to make it a humble today. Let me add to it. And I want all of us to, see in practicality some of those things what Professor has mentioned today, which many countries have achieved. The first thing what is started with the villages, towns and cities. If you have time to, I welcome you to India and come to a state called Tamil Nadu. There is big temple from 7,000 kilometers far from Tamil Nadu coast called Angkor Wat in Cambodia. And those villages, if you see even today, there are houses which are not less than 6,000 to 8,000 square feet, the minimum smallest house. Because that shows when you are at the coastal city, you can connect to the whole world. So I just wanted to supplement Professor on this teaching. Number 1.
Thank you.
Number 2, we mentioned an inland waterways. Thanks to our current government in India, they are working tirelessly and with safe cost. Not only cost, the headache that we see on Nigerian roads. I just put in one number. For me, India has got a very big coastal, I don't remember the numbers, I think about 5,000 kilometers or so. So earlier, we used to produce something in Kolkata from eastern part of India and you take to western part of India. It will cost you 15 rupees per kilometer with fuel, toll and all the nonsense on the road. Because to tell you, Nigeria is just a pilot of India, what India used to be for 20 years ago. So you've seen all those things. So today, the same thing, you pay 1.5 rupees. So you see how the water line can help us. We're struggling on the road and the quantity. So Professor, that is the second thing that I wanted to supplement.
All right. Thank you.
The third thing that what I wanted to add to this gathering here is, let me tell you, Yes, it is not a matter of government. Those who are still sleeping and waiting for the government to do, government may not come. Whose government is that? Who will represent? Who are those gentlemen sitting on the office? Please, don't engage them. He's right. The whole world is waiting not for advocate. They have done enough advocacy has done. If you don't engage, the delay is yours. Your country is established. You are established. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir. India is one of the leading maritime nations in the world today. We can't maritime and blue economy. We can stay here and go on and on and on. As you can see, I still have like 4-5 slides. But again, that's why you have to come to the Blue Economy Academy, because we sit you down and we take you into it to understand what the dimensions are that we're dealing with. Then you take your own slice, your own bucket, and say, look, 10 buckets. I think this one bucket is enough for one lifetime. Let me now begin to drink from it and drill into it. Oceans of opportunities. In fact, think of the ocean this way, or the blue economy this way. Think in terms of vastness, as vast as the seas are, and think in terms of depth. Vastness and depth. That is what defines the true riches that are available with regards to the blue economy.
Thank you so much, Peter. I want to first of all take a lead from what Ms. Ishra. And you are briefing on about the sound of your country. Yes, the vastness you described here, the depth. Your country has understood it and happening to it. I will tell you, we also understand it here. Unfortunately, we have a lot of bottlenecks that have made us to stand still, and we are not tapping into the resources. And I must tell you that the main source of the strength that we're supposed to receive to tap into the resources is even the major cause of the problem. And that is the government and the bottlenecks people around. I was privileged to be present the day that the first inland waterway was launched in Nigeria, somewhere in Ungwaland in Aba. That was about almost 20 years ago. I was there. And then everybody that came was talking about how the economy is going to produce an area that has not been tapped into. You have explained here now how if you travel from your country to another country you mentioned, how the developments have sprung up and then dead areas have just come alive. Yes, and that was the target of what was happening at but after that date, the whole thing was standing still. The people who were rooting this idea, many of them went bankrupt because of the problems they were having with the government. Everybody in government wanted to come and have a piece of the cake and forgot what they were supposed to do. Asking for the whole thing, if you don't want to give me part of this whole thing, the whole matter will die. And later, after some years, I was not hearing that, they said the first inland waterway that we launched in somewhere in Kaduna State. One of the ones that was happening in the people that need it most are not even having it. And so, when you talk about say the government is, we shouldn't wait for the government, we have to wait for them. Because in the beginning, it's not as if we don't know what we are supposed to do. You are here with packed with knowledge about what we can do, and I'm sure so many of us who have known this. Yes, every day, our eyes are open about the vastness of the economy. And I must tell you, I want you to help us now. How do we navigate ourselves out of this continent? Go by the greed and feel that we greed of people in government. Or is it lack of talent, or is it lack of knowledge? We don't know that. So until that thing is unwound, we will not move anywhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. As one who has worked in government, I agree with you. Government is that space. Government all over the world, is not just Nigeria. Government is always a laggard. We must understand that all over the world. We can argue the degrees to which this happens or that. For instance, you have in America now, the government wants to create a Department of Government Efficiency because it feels, the current administration feels things are not as efficient as they should be. That's the nature of bureaucracies. That's why I said, that's why I mentioned that quotation, that I could not wait for success. So I swam out to it. Engagement is very important. For instance, one of the things, when we started engaging the state governors, we realized that by going there, telling them this is what we have on the table that we are about to do, and you might miss out, that was enough to trigger a response. That's why it's a partnership. That's why I said advocacy will not cut it anymore. We've got to think engagement. There's no government you will go to and put some value on the table and there will not be some level of conversation, because here's the mindset of those in government, that when you come to them, it's as if you are looking for something. But we now need to reverse that look, we are bringing something. There are 8 littoral states. FIABCI cannot engage with all 8 and not get a positive response from at least one.